The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the barren landscape. The gas station sat at the crossroads, a lone outpost of light in the encroaching darkness. Its flickering neon sign spelled out Desolate Crossroads, Gas and Goods, a beacon for weary travelers navigating the long stretches of empty road that converged at this remote junction. Jake's tires squealed as he pulled into the gas station, the faint hum of his engine the only sound in the still evening air. He glanced around, noticing the emptiness of the place. No other cars. No other customers. Just him and the gas station's eerie glow. Stepping out of his car, Jake shivered, the chill of the air cutting through his jacket. A sense of unease prickled at the back of his neck, but he brushed it off as a byproduct of the isolated location. He grabbed the fuel nozzle and began filling his tank, his eyes occasionally flicking towards the weathered building and the odd assortment of characters lingering nearby. A tall man, his features obscured by a worn hat, leaned against the wall with an expressionless stare. Beside him, a woman with wild hair and sunken eyes smoked a cigarette, her gaze locked onto nothing in particular. Another figure, shrouded in a long coat, shuffled aimlessly near the entrance. Jake cleared his throat, attempting to break the silence that hung in the air. Evening. The three figures turned their gazes towards him in unison, their eyes devoid of warmth or recognition. The woman's lips curled into a hint of a smile, but it did nothing to ease the unsettling feeling that settled in the pit of Jake's stomach. As the gas pump clicked off, Jake replaced the nozzle and turned to the cashier's window. A small bell jingled as he pushed open the door, revealing the interior in stark contrast to the neon-lit exterior. Dim, flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows that seemed to dance along the peeling wallpaper. The cashier, an older man with weathered skin and tired eyes, glanced up from his newspaper as Jake approached. "Evening? You all filled up?" Jake nodded, his unease deepening as he noticed the same odd assortment of characters inside each one seemingly lost in their own thoughts, detached from the world around them. "How much do I owe you?" Jake asked, his voice edged with a forced casualness. The cashier's gaze shifted to the ancient cash register, his fingers moving with a sluggishness that defied explanation. $28.50. Jake handed over the money, his fingers brushing against the cashier's cold, clammy hand as he took the change. The touch sent a shiver down his spine, a sensation he couldn't shake off. As he made his way back to his car, he glanced once more at the figures outside. The woman with the wild hair was now standing closer, her eyes fixed on him with a strange intensity that made his heart race. In the confines of his car, Jake's hands trembled as he gripped the steering wheel. The gas station, with its odd characters and oppressive atmosphere, felt like a nightmare he couldn't wake up from. He glanced at his phone, calculating the distance to the next town. He could make it without stopping, right? But then, his fuel gauge caught his eye just a quarter tank. He cursed under his breath, realizing he had no choice but to stay. The darkness had deepened, swallowing the gas station and its surroundings in an inky void. As night fell, the gas station seemed to take on a life of its own. The flickering lights cast unsettling shadows that seemed to dance and twist, creating an otherworldly ambiance that sent shivers down Jake's spine. The figures outside remained, their presence growing more ominous with every passing minute. Desperation gnawed at Jake as he considered his options. He could wait until morning, but the thought of spending the night at this desolate junction made his skin crawl. With a deep breath, he mustered his courage and stepped out of the car. The cold air bit at his skin, and he hurried towards the building, his footsteps echoing in the stillness. The door creaked open, revealing the dimly lit interior once again. The cashier was absent from his post, leaving Jake alone in the eerie silence. "Hello?" Jake called out, his voice echoing through the emptiness. No response, just the faint buzz of the fluorescent lights overhead. With a sense of unease that bordered on desperation, Jake explored the interior, his footsteps echoing in the silence. Shelves were lined with dusty cans and faded packages, and a flickering TV in the corner played an old black-and-white movie without sound. The walls seemed to close in around him, suffocating him with a weighty sense of isolation. As Jake's eyes adjusted to the dim light, he realized something was off. There was no door leading to the restroom. Confusion turned to a creeping dread as he realized the restroom had been the cashier's domain. A shiver ran down his spine as he considered the implications. He was truly alone in this desolate place, with the strange figures outside and the unsettling gas station as his only companions. Suddenly, a rustling sound came from the back of the building. Jake's heart raced as he turned towards the source of the noise. The curtain leading to a back room swayed gently, as if brushed by an invisible hand. For a moment, he hesitated, his fear warring with his curiosity. But the need for answers outweighed his terror, and he cautiously approached the curtain. With a deep breath, he pushed it aside, revealing the room beyond. The room was dimly lit, its walls adorned with faded photographs and newspaper clippings. A single, flickering candle cast eerie shadows that danced across the walls, creating a tableau of unsettling images. And in the center of the room, seated at a weathered table, was the cashier. His gaze was fixed on an old book spread out before him, its pages filled with cryptic symbols and strange drawings. He seemed lost in his own world, detached from reality. Jake's voice trembled as he spoke, breaking the silence that hung heavy in the air. "What is this place? Who are you people?" The cashier's gaze slowly shifted towards Jake, his eyes devoid of recognition or warmth. "We are witnesses, observers of the choices people make at the crossroads of life. This place exists on the border between reality and the unknown." The implications of his words sent a chill down Jake's spine. He stumbled back, his mind racing to comprehend the eerie puzzle that surrounded him. Outside, the figures had drawn closer, their movements almost synchronized. The woman with the wild hair was now standing right by his car, her gaze fixed on him with a haunting intensity. Fear clawed at Jake's chest as he realized the extent of the danger he was in. The gas station, with its enigmatic inhabitants and foreboding atmosphere, was a trap he couldn't escape. As the figures closed in, their eyes gleaming with an unsettling mix of curiosity and malevolence, Jake was overcome with a suffocating sense of dread. The choices he had made had led him to this desolate crossroads, a place where reality twisted into something darker and more sinister. And as the night deepened and the eerie gas station held its secrets close, Jake found himself ensnared in a chilling and disturbing encounter that would forever alter the course of his life.